Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
I'm Jo'Van.
And I'm Brandice.
And this is
Closing the Gap.
We're so excited that you're here. You're probably wondering, why is this show called Closing the Gap? Well, we live in a time where there's tons of information out there, and sometimes it's hard to determine what's true,
what's false,
what's meaningful,
and what will truly feed your soul. We want to create a platform, a safe space for young adults to discuss everyday issue, but with a godly perspective. If you have questions, this is the show for you.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
And if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe right now, people. What are you waiting for?
Yep. Hit that button. Brandice.
Jo'Van.
So, let's continue our summer series, right?
Yes, if you've been following us, you know we've been talking about all things summer.
Right. So, international travel.
Yes.
Where are you trying to go?
I have a lot of places that I want to go. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with Italy.
Get you some pizza? Like what's about Italy?
I just the food definitely, and just like the food is like I love like Italian food. I just want to get the authentic like pasta, get the true like Italiano.
Yes.
So I just want to get the whole vibe. I just like anytime like I see a movie there, I'm like, oh, it seems so nice. I just want to be there in person to see the sights and
you get to see the real mafias. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You know. Yes.
I know I'm butchering that accent. Sorry, people.
Spaghetti.
Forget about it.
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah. Now that would be dope. You know what I'm saying? See the Colosseums in Rome.
Yeah.
But yeah. No, I think that would be dope. If I were to go to Italy, I would like to see like the historical landmarks.
Yes, that too.
Because I mean, those historical landmarks go way back. So, no, that's be fire.
Yeah. What about you?
For me,
where are you trying to go?
So there's this movie a long time ago. It's called Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. Great movie.
Not that long.
Well,
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying.
Anyway, I got you.
Long
drift.
time ago. Oh, I caught that one.
Good
See?
job.
But yes, Tokyo. I want to go to Tokyo, Japan, and it just seems like a really cool place. I know it's not like the summer destination that people think of, but
I think it's just like summer traveling. You always go to different places.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah, I want to go there and just see. It just seems so colorful. It seems like a lot's going on. And it just seems completely different than anything that I have experienced in my life. So that's why I want to go there. Yeah,
just
100,000.
don't marry a robot. You know.
Well, them robots looking kind of good. You know what I'm saying?
I was watching some documentary on Netflix. A lot of people in Japan are opting to marry robots.
Okay, that's interesting.
No, serious.
That should be an episode. I
think we mentioned it. I hinted towards it on when we were doing social media.
We need to do an episode called "Are you better than my robot?"
Listen, Siri always trying to check me, so I don't know.
Siri called my ex.
Wasn't that here?
Yes. We were filming an episode, and I felt my watch vibrate, and I was just like, "Oh, what's that?" And it said calling.
Insert name.
Calling your ex. And I was just like,
did not.
Oh, see? She just tried something. She just tried calling somebody again. I just don't want my robot to do that. I don't want my robot to just be calling people.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I just want it,
Your
to
robot.
do,
Yes.
Anyway, but yeah.
But no,
that's not why I'm going.
Sorry, that went a whole.
That was a whole tangent.
Sorry. But that's just something I'm telling you not to do while you're there.
But if I come back with a robot, don't judge me.
Oh, I will judge you.
That's going to be, we haven't had a guest in a while.
We haven't.
Maybe my robot, you know what I'm saying?
What would your robot?
Tabitha.
Okay. On that note, these are red flags you should look out for.
If you're on a date with a dude and he says he wants to get a robot named Tabitha.
A robot as a wife, general, dating, whatever. Yeah. Check, please. So, today's episode, we're talking about all the red flags. There's some red flags, guys, when you're dating someone, trying to get to know someone you should look out for. So, Jo'Van, what's one that you think that the people should look out for?
You know what really just grinds my gears?
What grinds your gears?
Girl, let me tell you. You know what I don't like? I don't like it when I'm trying to get what I need to get done, or I'm focused on what I need to get done, and then the person gets mad at me because I'm focused on what I need to be doing and I'm not focused on them, or they don't understand, or they don't have enough going on in their life to understand what it feels like to have something going on. So then when you got something going on, they're like, why aren't you talking to me as much? It's like, bro, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? And just to sum that up in one word, clingy.
Stage 5.
Too needy, yes.
Stage 5 clinger.
And just maybe just neediness. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's just like, bro, if you want somebody that's going to talk to you all day, you need to find someone that wants to talk to you all day. There's nobody on this planet I want to talk to all day. And I love my mama. But I don't want to talk to my mama all day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe once a day. Maybe. I love you, Mom. Nah, but for real. I love you, Mom. But yeah, it's just like I need time to separate from everything sometimes. When I'm at work, I don't be thinking about nothing. And I need to be focused on what I'm doing. If I got someone in my life because I was dating somebody. This is to put it in perspective,
yes,
right?
This is a real life story, people.
Real life story, right? So I was dating this girl during the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? She was cool and everything. But every single time I would be at work, she'd be wanting to talk, like text. And it's not that I don't like texting, but like when I'm at work, I need to be zoned in because I always have a lot of moving parts going, right? Mm-hmm. And when sometimes, like, if I didn't talk to her enough, if I talked to her after work, she'd be in a mood or something like that. And I just got tired of dealing with that because I'm like, bro, if you're going to be in a mood while I'm trying to be focused on what I need to be focused on, then that's going to get exhausting. So for me, it's the clinginess. Can't do it.
Right. And so I'm just going to ask questions for the people.
What's up, people?
So just playing devil advocate. Were you guys talking on a regular basis, like on a daily basis? You just weren't able to talk to her during work hours?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking after work. You know, we would FaceTime.
Okay, so I'm making sure that it wasn't like you weren't talking to her all day and then she got upset. So I'm just asking for the people.
No, I wasn't like going all day, but there would be days because I knew that she was gonna be upset with me because I couldn't talk to her as much as she wanted. And
during work hours.
And let's just to preface this because I feel like this could be a question. Did I communicate that? Absolutely.
That's my next question.
I communicated that, hey, during work I can't talk as much. But that mood was still there. So yes, there would be some days where I didn't feel like, even after like I wasn't talking to her as much during the work day, afterwards I didn't even want to deal with the mood that she was going to be in. And I'm just like, this just ain't going to work. You know what I'm saying?
No, and that makes sense. Like if somebody's not respecting your boundaries or your needs, like you're got something going on, you just genuinely cannot talk right now. If they can't respect that, then yeah.
It ain't going to work.
It's not,
and
no.
That's something I learned. Like, I didn't realize like how. I think it was because last year, 2 years ago, that's when I really started valuing myself and valuing everything I was working on. Because before, I would, even if I was trying to get something done, I would always make time for the other person.
Yes.
And that sounds all sweet and nice, like, oh my God, he always makes time for me. But nah, like that can be to the detriment of yourself if you're not focused on what you need to do and your work is suffering or your passions or your other relationships are suffering. That can be a detriment. You got to set boundaries. When I set those boundaries, then I was able to learn, oh, I need someone that understands and respects what I need to get done.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Like your job is very important. Everybody's job is very important. So if they're saying, well, I don't care about your job, you need to talk to me or respond immediately to my text, that's not something. They don't respect you because your job is a extension of you, something that you're obviously passionate about, that you care about. So if they're not respecting that, like, okay, this is that person's job.
My mom heard me talking about her.
Hi.
I'm not gonna answer. Once a day. I already talked to her once today. I ain't talking to her again.
I'm gonna get on. Anywho. But no, if they're not respecting that you are busy, this is your job, and you have to take care of business, then they don't care or value your time. Because, I don't know, when you're on that job, you are they're hoping, they're looking to you to fill that need. So that's not your time. I mean, I know we're all guilty of it, to like text or whatever, doing all these extra stuff. That's your time to get that job done. So if you know my job is very demanding, I'm like, hey, honey, I have to be all focused. I will text you or call you once I'm done. They have to respect that. The main thing is what you did is communicate that to them. Don't have them waiting like, oh, why didn't you text me back, or whatever the case may be. You communicated that to them, like, hey, my job is very demanding. I don't have the time to respond to your text message all the time. It might be a whole that work out time that I don't get back to you. I'm so sorry, but I will get back to you once, either a lunch or once I'm done working. So you have to respect that. And if you listen.
Facts. Have you ever had to deal with someone that didn't respect your time, or they were too clingy in any type of way, or they had this maybe they wanted something that you already communicated, like, hey, I can't give this, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. No, I don't want to go too much in detail about that, but I've definitely experienced that. Like, say, hey, I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you right now. Right. And they're like, well, why? Well, why? And I get that on a normal basis that we might talk on all the time. And at this time, you might be able to talk to me. But today I'm telling you, hey, I have this going on. I'm sorry, I cannot talk. And especially if you communicate it, I think they have to respect. Now, if you're just like ignoring them, that's different. But when people are not respecting that and they're clingy, like, I have to be attached to you at all times, that's just too much. Nobody wants to feel like they have to be attached to somebody at all time. You have to be self I don't know, unmotivated, but like be able to be in yourself and be.
You have to have your own identity, and
that
you can't,
part fulfilled into yourself, and not like have to be like attached at the hip. Have to be calling and talking to that person all the time. You have to have that self fulfillment to be able to be okay with yourself. Because nobody wants a stage 5 clinger.
Facts. So
another one that I always this one red flag that you want to look out for is controlling. And this one, especially in the beginning stages, can come off like, oh, he's just really, really, or he or she is very, really sweet. They're really concerned about me. They want to make sure I'm okay. They want to know my whereabouts so that they know that I'm okay. But you have to truly like look into it, like, are they doing that because they just care, like they just want to make sure you're safe? Or is it they want to know your every move and they just going to control every, like, oh, you didn't call me at this time. What were you doing? Why did you call? Like, you have to look into those things. How do they react when things don't go exactly how they were supposed to go? Because it's one thing, like, you are concerned and you're like, I want to make sure you're safe. But when things don't go exactly, you can always sometimes see that controlling person because they're like, wait, no. You were supposed to do X, Y, and Z, things of that nature.
Yeah, I think, yes, I feel like controlling people, it comes out of insecurity and not actually like care. It's not about you, it's about them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you make that controlling person feel insecure, they're gonna get upset. You know what I'm saying? Or let me rephrase that. The more insecure a person is, the more controlling they're probably going to be because they have to keep things in a certain area to feel safe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so, yeah, I think when you're dealing with a person that seems to come off controlling, start to evaluate, like, what's motivating this controlling, you know? And then is there ever a place to be controlling? I don't think so. Like,
no.
But controlling by definition is bad. I feel like in a relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you need to be with someone who you don't feel like you have to control.
Right. We're all adults. We're all capable of making our own decisions, doing our own things. Now, if you're in a relationship, you have to communicate those things and make sure you're on the same page. But that doesn't mean that person has that control to pull the strings, like, and say, you know what I mean? You definitely want to be on the same page.
Right.
And you want to communicate your actions or whatever. But it's a difference. My thing is you just want to make sure you keep your eyes open. And I think it's just really hard in the beginning to see that, because in the beginning it seems like, oh my gosh, they really care. They're just concerned about my well-being. Or
Can you give an example of like how that could come off as they care about your well-being? Because I think I don't understand.
so like, let me think. Like, say you're dating someone, they say, they just ask simple question like, "What are you doing today?" And then they want to know every aspect of that day. Or, and let's say you were traveling and you said you'll be back at a certain time, and then they're like, well, you said you're going to be back this time. At first you're like, oh, they're checking up on me, they're making sure I'm okay. But on a controlling person, it can be just that they're trying to keep that grip on you, make sure that you are staying in line, or things of that nature.
See, for me, I think I would be able to. I think I would be able to identify that early on, because it's like, okay, let's say they keep checking up on you. It's like, oh, they're so, and they want to know what I'm up to. Like, they're so interested and been invested.
Because it could just be like, oh, he's just checking up. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, my thing though, and this is just from my perspective, and I guess this is just based on like how I live my life. I feel like if I'm focused on things I got going on in my life, I don't have time to text you all day trying to figure out what you're doing. I got to focus on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
but you're not a control. Well, I don't know, but you're not a controlling person. So to you, that seems like crazy. Does that make sense?
well, to me, it almost makes me feel like the man or woman that's doing that is they don't have. It's like they're not focused on what they need to be doing.
There's
Like,
definitely
or
some
they're
insecurities there, like you said.
insecure, they or a lack of trust, or what I'm saying, there's something internal going on for them to feel like they have to constantly reach out. And I think I could tell the difference between that and someone just being like, oh, hey, like, how's your day going? Because to me, like, yeah, I'll ask you like, hey, how's your day going? But I don't have to ask you, I don't have to be like, what are you doing, like 3 times a day? Like,
Yeah.
okay, hey, I might text you at lunch like, hey, how are you doing today? Usually what you're doing is going to come out. Like, I don't have to ask what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? And then in the evening, I was like, hey, so it's like, how's your day going? How was your day? Both times I'm going to hear about your day. And if I feel like you're being shady about your day, then I'll address it. But I wouldn't be with someone where I feel like I always have to think about what they're doing.
Right. Now, I'm just saying, in the very beginning stages, when you're just getting to know the person, you might not automatically say that's too much. I don't know. That's just, I've just seen that before. Like, so you always have to look out. If they are constantly doing that, that is a red flag. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. I'm not saying that. Okay, I see what you're saying. And I probably wouldn't say anything about it. But after the first week, if they're texting me every day throughout the day, like, what are you doing? I'm going to be like, there's something, this ain't gonna work.
Right.
But I know that for myself that
Yeah.
that's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? It's too much for
Yeah.
me. You know what I'm saying?
And it's more to it. It's not just the texting. It's more things to look out for, especially when it comes to controlling people. It's just, you just definitely don't ever want to get in that headspace. Because I feel like when it gets to controlling, you see that a lot of, what?
So I'm not wearing shoes, and I was like, whoop.
Oh.
I was like,
wait, what did I say?
no, not you.
Sorry. When it comes to controlling people, well, you see a lot in movies. Like, I feel like sometimes that can go on a different direction. Like, they can start being abused. It's like a whole line of things when somebody's controlling that it can lead into. So I always want to, especially our women out there, just to keep your eyes open if someone is giving you like little signs that they could be controlling. If they're like very like adamant, like, well, you didn't do this, or you said you're supposed to be here at this time. Like wait, hold on, pimpin'.
Let me ask you this: do you feel like someone that puts God first in their life would be like all up on you all day? You know what I'm saying? Like, because my thing, and the reason why I'm asking is because I feel like when you put a person such a high pedestal that every move they make affects you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's more likely to happen if God isn't first in your life.
That's what you're saying.
Because then if God's first in your life, you trust God. You know what I'm saying? You've
And
learned
you
to
have
trust
that
him.
fulfillment within. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting fulfillment from God. So I feel like if you and this, I feel like this is a broad statement that we probably would have to unpack more
Yes,
deeply.
because
Yeah. But I just know that in my for me personally, I know when God wasn't first in my life, the relationship and like small things relationship
Yes.
would impact me so much harder. But when I put God first and I actually have a relationship and I trust him, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is happening. God, give me wisdom. God, give me discernment. But I'm not going to like this. If this person goes off the rails or something, it's not going to crush me. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not my foundation. God's my foundation.
And that is key. And I think that is something, especially as Christians out here dating, you want to look out for. Because, I mean, if you are clearly a Christian, you want to make sure that you are finding a Christian man or woman. And if they are not, if they're claiming I'm a Christian, I love God, but their actions not lining up to it, they're not spending any time in prayer, reading the Bible. They have not every all of their actions goes against everything God stands for. Then that is truly a red flag. I mean, we talked about this already. Everybody has their struggles, and nobody's perfect by no means. But if their whole lifestyle goes against everything God stands for, but they're saying, I love the Lord, then you want to look out. You want to make sure you're paying attention to everything they're doing. Because if that's not lining up, that's a red flag that you definitely want to make sure you're keeping your eye on and like say, hey, this is not for me.
And everything you just said, there's a verse that literally says it. It's Isaiah. No, excuse me. It is Titus 1:16. They claim to know God, but they deny him by what they do.
Yes.
They are detestable, disobedient, and unfit to do anything good. And so that's a very powerful line. It pretty much sums up what you said. They claim to know God, but they deny him and by what they do. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just feel like now in age, that's so prevalent out here. Like a lot of people just like, oh, I'm a Christian because they believe Jesus, but they don't have that relationship or not even striving to have that relationship.
There's a huge difference.
Exactly. Like the devil believe in Jesus, but you're like, he doesn't. So I just feel like a lot of people out here today, especially in our age bracket, out here saying, I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus, but their lifestyle is not backing up that statement. They are going everything against that scripture. Titus, is that what you just read?
Titus 1:16.
Okay, they're going everything that's saying is their life is going against. So, and also I know you have another scripture in Isaiah about people like if they aren't living that godly life, you shouldn't tie your life to them or tie your affections with them. Do you want to read? I can.
So I have another verse, but it's from Proverbs.
About to hold on.
Yeah, I'll let you pull up the verse. But yeah, I definitely think that if you have God first in your life, you are less likely to be controlling. I believe, because I just don't see how. I feel like insecurity is what makes people be controlling. But you reduce insecurity. Not saying eliminate always, but you reduce it when you put God first and you actually have trust in God, like real trust. Your insecurity has to go away to a degree. Everyone's insecure. There's something people, most people are going to be insecure to the day they die about something. But I know for myself, when I start putting God first, I got way less insecure because I was like, if I'm living my life for God like I'm supposed to, I know I believe God is going to do right by me. So what do I need to be afraid of? You know what I'm saying? And anything that I go through is for me to become stronger. I'm supposed to learn from it. It's not supposed to destroy me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't be doing any better in life than me following God as a Christian.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just like, bro, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's why I feel like if you put God first, your insecurity must be lower. You will try to control someone when you feel like you have control. You don't have control.
Yeah,
you don't have control over another person.
Yes, you can only control yourself and your actions, your reaction to
Right.
things. You cannot control someone else.
Right. You don't have control. God has control. You don't. And if you have a relationship with God, you can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like that is the key thing to if you're with someone, really start talking to them, especially if they're, well, I mean, you should be dating a Christian if you're a Christian, right? But you're dating a Christian, and if they say they're Christian, talk to them about how God fits into their life.
And these are things you just want to look out for, like especially when you get to know somebody. Like, see how talk about Christ and see what they have to say. If they're like stumbling, then they probably don't have a relationship with Christ. Or it's very important when you start dating to look out for those things. Is this person always like have to be with you? They're clingy, or are they making sure have to know where I'm doing, making sure I'm at this place, controlling. Or they're not Christian. So you just want to make sure these are red flags that you definitely want to look out for. And I did find that scripture really quick. Sorry.
Break it down.
2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for the fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? So how can you walk together if your polar opposites, light and dark, don't go together? So obviously, if you're a Christian and you're a believer, how can you walk together in unison? Because that's the thing. That is the key. When you're in a relationship with somebody, in order for it to be a prosperous relationship, you have to walk together. And how can two walk together if they don't even believe on the thing that should hold their relationship together? So if I'm a believer and Christ should be at the center of our relationship, and you don't believe, how can that relationship work?
Physics.
So
it's very frustrating, especially for the person. Well, both of them. The person that's trying to take it serious, they're like, bruh, like I truly value my relationship with God, and you're pulling me away from it. And then you got the other person who doesn't really believe, and they're like, why we got to do all this Christian stuff?
Because
I'm tired. Why do we have to go to church? Do we have to tithe? I need money. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's going to be super frustrating for someone that doesn't actually see the value in doing all these things that come with actually having a relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
So
because when you said that, it made me think when you said they're going to draw you. Some people actually believe that. I mean, I'm not saying that it can't happen because there are people out there, but you have to know for sure that that's your calling on your life. God told you that's your person. Because there are times that I've heard of people dating somebody and they kind of brought them to Christ. But that's not always the story. And I think that's the minimum. I wouldn't go into it thinking, oh, well, I'm going to be the witness and draw that person. Because guess what? What if you don't? What if they don't? What if they stay unbeliever? Like, I just wouldn't put that stress on your relationship. You just don't know. So, it's because somebody going to pull one of them, and you don't know who it's going to be. So you want to be careful. Are they going to pull you, or are you going to pull them?
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. That's got to be a tough situation where
I know people who've done it. It's just tough, like you said.
Yeah, it's tough because if you do like fall in love with someone who's a non-believer, because you fall in love with who they are. You know what I'm saying? They're not a bad person. But they're not bound by the same standards necessarily that come with being Christian. You know what I'm saying? And that could be difficult, and that's tough. I really don't know what to say about that.
I know people who've done it. It's just like you said, it's just tough, and it's just a lot of conversation that maybe issues that you don't have. I don't know. It's just tough. But also with red flags, it made me think about like online dating. Like that's what a lot of people are doing nowadays. But with online dating, there's their own red flags by itself. Because let's go down to the profile. If this person, all of their pictures are they're looking away, and I'm like, why can't I see your face? Why can't that seems sketchy to me. So if you're not looking at the camera, nowadays the cool thing is to look away. But you have not one picture. I'm sorry, when you turn to the camera real quick, when you did it was a glare and like sunglasses for a second. And I was like, wait. But if all your pictures are kind of you blocking your face, I can't see. I'm sorry, I'm not liking. I'm not going for that. Like something seems sketchy to me. You can have one cool pic, like I'm looking off in space or whatever the case may be.
That or every single picture you tab is in a group.
Yes.
It's just like, all right, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
who are you?
Which
who
one?
Are you? Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nah.
If they have a girl, that could be unless they say, "Hey, this is my sister," or "This is so and so." You better watch out.
Yeah. Or, they're like, "Hey, let's hang." You're like, "Oh, go on a date?" No. Hang.
Listen, there are some people out here in these streets on online dating that go straight to like, oh, let's Netflix and chill. Hang. How pimping? You better meet this person out in public and let people know where you're going.
You want to meet them at Publix? Y'all going grocery shopping?
You can't. I said in public.
Oh, public. You said Publix.
You can go to Publix, go down the aisles and talk.
Publix date? You know what I'm saying?
And say like, oh, do you like this brand of rice or this?
That sounds like a terrible date. No, I was playing. I'm sure someone's done it and that went very great.
I swear that the route we go sometimes is just like, ooh.
Honestly, no, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be really cool to have like think about this. Segue, and we're running low on time. But what if someone was like, hey, let's go to Publix and then we're gonna pick out our picnic items and then we're gonna go to the park.
I like that idea.
Wouldn't that be
lit? That is fire.
Wouldn't that be lit?
Yes, that's lit. But we're gonna.
We need to do some green flags. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put you up on getting. No, I really was not on dating apps like that. So,
what other red flags? If they're like Jo'Van said, if they're immediately trying to meet you at your place or a secluded area, don't go with that person. If their conversation is like, I hate this, WID. Good.
Oh, yeah.
The next day, WID.
They're only talking acronyms.
No, it's not the acronyms. That's all they're saying.
Oh.
Or that's it. It's like, good morning. How's your day? Then later on, WID. And it's the same conversation.
They just want to know what you're doing. Did you tell them what you're doing?
The first 2 times. After that, I'm like, listen, do you not have any other conversation you want to go? Another thing.
Uh-oh.
I actually told you about this.
Keep them coming.
If you go on a date with somebody and they're only talking about themselves.
Oh.
There is not one question like about to get to know you. They're just like all about me. That's a red flag. Then it's just like, listen, look out for those people.
Gotcha.
So it's a lot out there. You just want to. Dating is hard in general, but in 2021 it just makes things a little bit harder just because of social media and just the comparison game, and people have gotten hurt and there's like this defense up. So I just feel like it's a lot of things that you have to look out for.
Right.
So but online dating has its own category of red flags that you want to look out for.
For me, if I meet someone online and we go on our first date, and if she doesn't pay the first date, then I'm out.
Like Dutch or like?
No, all of it.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
I want to see why. I want to see if she really likes me. You know.
What if she thinks the same thing about you? The chivalry.
I'm looking for that one that understands me. You know what I'm saying?
Oh boy. So ladies, look out for. Oh yeah, I forgot. He always said he wants a sugar mama. So
that's what I'm saying. Like I have my preference. Okay. I want one of them. The heart wants what the heart wants. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I've got a big heart.
But no, guys, we definitely want you guys to be careful out here dating in these streets.
Oh man, I'm glad you did that because I forgot.
You did
for the streets.
We did a live last week that I was trying to get Jo'Van to say it, but he was like, "I'm so tired, I can't say it."
Did I say I was tired?
You did. You said that Mountain Dew wasn't kicking in yet.
Oh.
But I forgot what I was saying. Oh, dating is so hard out here in these streets. So we just wanted to give a couple of red flags to look out for. Just be careful. Don't get caught up in the okie doke. And especially if you're online dating, be very, very careful. What is that, Elmer Fudge? Be very, very. Okay, I'm sorry.
I don't know, but there's another red flag. What do you think about this? This one's I keep hearing this one. They keep saying if his name is Chris, watch out. Is that true?
Listen, you did not finish. Well, I think this is why you did not finish Love Is Blind. Not Love Is Blind. Married at First Sight.
Okay.
So they got the worst guy on there. His name was Chris. When I say he was the woat, have you heard that, like, saying the woat, the worst of all time?
Okay, I've never heard someone actually say woat, but type woat, yes.
Anyhow, he was the woat.
So it's true about Chris's.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I've heard if his
Really?
name is Chris or like I don't know the other ones, but Chris was one of the names.
That's the only reason I can say that from that show. But
That's crazy.
I can't imagine that is that wide stream that a lot of people are saying that. I don't know, but I mean the show is very popular, so who knows? But he was awful. Like, yeah, like from like after. So Married at First Sight, they married each other without talking, without knowing anything about them. So this couple got married right then. Walked down the aisle, started talking. Immediately started talking about his ex and just like how he was engaged like a couple of months ago. And he like told her friends that he wasn't attracted to her. And then at one point he was like, I'm trying to get back with his ex. His ex was pregnant, gave his ex a call. It was a whole hot mess.
Pregnant with his baby?
Allegedly. But then she allegedly had a miscarriage, but a lot of people didn't believe it. Listen, it's a hot mess. It was so much. And he was just the woat. He was for the streets. But I'm not sure that's the reason they're saying Chris, so there's that. But I think it's just a lot of street boys that names are Chris, so there's that.
Got it. Okay.
I think that's probably more than from Married at First Sight. But it's just a common name that you see in the streets.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, guys, let us know. What are some red flags that you've seen that you have experienced? And give us your thoughts on, like, do you believe that you can be with someone who doesn't necessarily put God first, or they kind of put God first, but sometimes they put you first? Like, can you do that, or is that just like a no? And tell us.
It's a no for me.
Yeah. See, there you go. There's one. You know what I'm saying? Brandice, you should comment. But also, like, tell us. Oh, have you ever seen a controlling person in a relationship, man or woman? Mm-hmm. And let us know what that looked like and what that person would do. But yeah,
and clingy and all the other stuff that we
online dating.
Yes, tell us your stories about online dating. What are some things that you had to look out for? I'm so sorry. Really quick, catfishing. Sorry. So really quick. I know we're pressed for time for 2 more minutes. That's one thing you have to be careful about with online dating. If this person, like, you're messaging this person, but you're like, hey, let's talk on the phone. Oh man, I'm busy. Always busy for weeks and weeks. They're busy. You better listen. That's a red flag. And then, baby, they do talk. And then you're like, let's FaceTime. They give you excuses after excuses after excuses. You might begin catfish people. So you want to be keep an eye out on that. And especially they don't ever like suggest meeting up or whatever the case may be.
Man, at this point, look, if you're on online dating and you can't like do any type of video chat, that doesn't make sense, because if I match with you on Tinder, or if I match with you on Hinge or Bumble or whatever,
Farmers
that
only.
means you have a phone.
Yes.
Okay. And if you can't turn that camera on, it ain't happening.
You've watched the show Catfish before, right?
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. Yeah.
It's always the most craziest stories, and these people, because it's both men and women, they go along with it, and that just like blows my mind. They are giving these people money that they've never met. They just have a phone relationship with, because they are. Yeah. And they never met in person. They never FaceTime. So, listen, don't be that person. Don't be that person. Don't get all involved somebody you haven't met. like none of that. I don't care if you just face. I don't know. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah,
it just blows my mind how they get so invested for somebody you never met.
And that's not a judgment thing. It's just like, if you're gonna online date, you should have some like standards. You know what I'm saying? So you don't waste your time or money.
Yes.
I think that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think some people do that because they really are desperate. You know what I'm saying? Or they're just, and I think some people, they don't have any standards, so they just allow, it's like you enable, like, when you don't have standards, people can take advantage of you.
Yes.
And I feel like you should have standards to protect yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, if this person, like, you should have a response ready. If someone starts asking you for money and they can't even, it's like, not actually, if someone asks me for money and I've never even met them and I've never even video chatted them or nothing.
It happens all the time on that show.
You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
I'm like, nah, man. Like, don't get me, like, it's hard for me to send you money even if we have a first date.
Right.
It's just like,
bruh,
you don't have anyone that can give you, and that's another red flag. It's like, if they ask you for money, and y'all just met,
yes,
that means that nobody else wants to give the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That means nobody else wants to give the money. And then because I haven't watched the show enough to really like be able to like really get into it, but I'm sure they have some. Well, my mom can't give it to me because she's going through this. My dad.
It's always a sad story.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, so this is why you get on online dating so you can find somebody to give you money?
Yes.
Nah, bro, you better get on Bumble Friends. Find you some friends.
Some people were paying like phone bills, like it was crazy. And listen, a pretty picture can only go so far. I don't care if there's a picture up of Michael B. Jordan. If I haven't seen you, I don't care. Listen, no, I'm not getting invested. If I can't see you eye to eye, go out, touch, then no.
Michael be gone. You know what I'm saying?
That part for real.
Yeah.
Yes. Because guess what? If that person's that attractive, as they are portraying themselves to be, guess what? They're gonna be like, hey, this is me. Just like, so they're not trying to FaceTime or see you in person. Goodbye.
And I will say, if you look Megan good, pun intended, but if that's how good you look, I might send you some money. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, okay. That took a second for me to get. Sorry.
You like that?
Megan good. So it's one of your jokes that went over my head. Usually it's my jokes going over his head.
But we're doing good. Anyway, thank y'all for watching. I know we just went off on a tangent there. We appreciate y'all. Please like, share,
and
subscribe, and we will see you next week.